What's going on, YouTube? I am Germ here, and of course we all want to eventually own or invest in some of the best skins in Counter-Strike in CS2, stuff like the AK-47 Wild Lotus, the M4A1S Blue Phosphor, and the AWP Dragon Lore. But of course, these skins are very, very expensive, and some of us can't afford these. Maybe we'll never be able to afford these, or have these as like our grail, our goal skin, our whatever that we are eventually trying and hoping to work up to. So what do we do in the meantime? What do the broke boys do? That's what we're going to be talking about in this video today. This is a strategy that is still relatively new to me. I'm no expert by any means. I'm still trying to learn all the intricacies and all the in-depth stuff and everything like that, and people who have been around the CS markets for a long time probably know way more about this than me. But obviously the markets and CS investing has been becoming a lot more popular in the last like 6 months to a year. So there's a ton of new people out there, a ton of people with small budgets and small inventories and small investment portfolios and all this stuff. So I think this might be something you could learn, maybe something pretty cool, maybe something interesting. We're talking about CS2 investing on a budget today, and being able to invest in stuff like the Wild Lotus, like the Blue Phosphor, and like the Dragon Lore for just a fraction of the price, but still hopefully get all of the gains and sometimes even more. So these skins, we'll be looking at these 3 skins just because these are the ones I have pulled up, but this could be really used for any popular skin in the game, any skin that you think is really cool, really sick, or is going to perform well in the future, or even if you don't like necessarily love it or want to own it or whatever, even if you think it's a cool skin that could go up, taking advantage of something like this, which is going to be just investing in the cheaper options in the collections of these skins that are eventually going to be traded up, so something like the AK-47 Wild Lotus. This is in the Saint Mark collection, which you can see here is 4, 8, 12, 16, like 18 different skins or whatever. You obviously have the Covert, the big dog of this collection, the Wild Lotus, but then you have stuff like the Wild Lily, you have the pinks, the purples, the blues, the light blues, the grays, all of that good stuff. And obviously, these different colored skins, interestingly enough, are actually going to track with each other a lot in price because these things are used for trade-ups. Now, obviously, you can trade up the purples to get the pinks, you can trade up the pinks to get the reds, and so on and so forth. So, some of these really, really cheap gray skins, they look very similar to the skins that you get dropped from, like, the care package after you level up in game or something. Those, like, 2 cent, 3 cent, 4 cent skins that we get, that random Negev skin, that random sawed-off skin that's worth, like, 3 cents, and you can't even sell it on the market because nobody wants it. These skins look pretty similar to that, Does the sawed-off jungle thicket really look better than some of those skins? Does the jungle M249 really look a lot better than some of those skins? No, but so why are these skins worth $1.76 to $15.92 and $1.71 to $2.19? And again, all those skins we get dropped after games are worth like 3 cents or 4 cents. Well, one, obviously these are a little bit older, a little bit more rare, but also they are in this Saint Mark collection that can eventually be traded up to the Wild Lotus. You can trade up some of these grays, these blues, and trade all the way up. And as the price of something like the Wild Lotus or the Wild Lily or whatever, as those prices go up, it's going to become more profitable to trade up to them as the skins below it are cheaper. So these skins below it are also going to increase in price as well. And the super interesting thing here is, especially for the grays, as people trade these up, they're going to become lower in quantity and lower in supply, which is going to make them more rare, which is going to make their price go up, which is going to make the other skins' prices go up. So really, the skins in these collections just become this cyclical kind of ball of gains. And if you look at something like this, we can pull up, I don't know what I have here. I think I have the MAC-10 Surfwood, which you can see here. It is in the Saint Mark collection. I don't know if my head is covering it up or something right here. MAC-10 Surfwood in the Saint Mark collection. This is in the Wild Lotus collection. This is what the Steam graph looks for at lifetime. This thing has, it's hard to tell because it's so zoomed out and the skin's so old, but this thing has absolutely killed. And if we zoom in a little bit, we can see right now the lowest buy order for this, or the cheapest thing you can buy on the Steam market, is $3.38. And if we go back 1 year, today I'm recording this on November 7th. So if we go back November 7th of last year, we can see that this thing was about $2.04. So it's up like, what, 75%, 65% or something in the last year. And obviously that is very, very good gains, especially for something like a $2, $3, $4 skin or whatever. Now, obviously there's a lot of intricacies that go into these collection investing and these lower tier collection skins investing and all that stuff. Some of it has to do with float caps, and obviously you want to get stuff that has good float because that's going to trade up into better floats and all this different stuff. And obviously there's reasons why this gray might be better than that gray or whatever. But you can see how if you really believed in the Wild Lotus, but you didn't have $2,600 or $10,000 or whatever to spend on it, you could invest in some of these grays. And what the good thing about this is, obviously, it's if you have a smaller budget, you can invest in something really, really cheap that still has a chance to perform well. If you have a higher budget, or if your budget is going to increase over time, you could just buy more of them over time. You know, say you have $20 or $30, obviously you could buy 10 Mac 10 Surfwoods right now, and maybe in your next paycheck you're gonna have $50. Now you could buy some more, and this thing could really snowball, and you could just keep buying more. Obviously, if certain ones started performing well or underperforming, you thought there was a good deal, you could do other things. You can see this obviously works in other collections as well. Now, obviously, some collections are better than others. You have something like the Control Collection with 2 really, really cool skins in it, and even the USPS Target Acquired is not a bad skin at all, but the Control Collection has the Op Fade, and it's got the Blue Phosphor in it, and obviously the Blue Phosphor got a really, really big buff in CS2, so it's gotten a lot of hype. People are going after this one right now. So if we scroll down and check out the grays, something like the MP9 Army Sheen, which I know Nalo is a really, really big fan of. I know he memes about it and talks about it all the time. But when you look at the returns of this thing, it's been really, really good, especially since CS2's come out and people have been wanting the Blue Phosphor and trading up for the Blue Phosphor even more. Here's what the Army Sheen graph has looked like. Now, again, this one, the lowest possible one you can get on the Steam market right now is 81 cents. And if we look at the lifetime, a year ago, November 7th-ish, this thing was like 13 cents, and that is a huge, huge, huge gain to 81 cents where it is today. Again, obviously the Blue Phosphor has killed it, and this graph has just absolutely killed it since CS2 has dropped as well. The hype around the Blue Phosphor has really done well for the Army Sheen, and the weird thing is, and the crazy thing is, the Army Sheen has actually outperformed the Blue Phosphor in this time period. You know, this is like a 6 or 7x return. The Blue Phosphor is not up 6 or 7x in the past year. The Army Sheen has been absolutely killing it, and it's for all of these different reasons. Again, it's a gray, so people are going to be wiping out a lot of the grays to trade up, and no one's trading up to the grays, so it's in a lot of weird ways the gray kind of supply is decreasing a lot faster than some of the other stuff. And then you go way back to obviously the super, super high tier stuff like the Dragon Lore. You go back and look at the grays here, you can see the factory new grays that are in the Dragon Lore's collection. This is the Cobblestone collection, are $10 for the UMP Indigo, $283 for the dual bred of Briar, $810, $933, $1478. So I want to take a look at the Mac 10 Indigo and see again, right now the lowest order on the Steam Community Market is $24.05. And if we go back a year ago to about November 7th, it is $6.13. So this thing is up about 4x in the past year. And again, is the Dragon Lore up 4x in the past year? No, absolutely not. But still, obviously the Dragon Lore has different benefits, like being a high tier, it's going to be more stable, blah, 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 whatever. But if you do look at the graph of something like the Mac 10 Indigo, this graph has been obviously very, very good. It just kind of, yes, there are some flat periods and there are some up and downs here and there, but especially lately, it has been doing quite well. So this strategy doesn't only work if you're on a budget. People with higher tiers can do this. You could buy up a ton of Army Sheens or a ton of Mac 10 Indigos or a ton of Mac 10 Surfwoods or whatever, but then you do have to worry about, obviously, storing all that stuff, storage units. It's just kind of a pain to buy and sell it all. It's going to take more time. That doesn't mean it can't be very, very profitable. I still don't exactly know, the best ways to take advantage of the strategy, if I'm going to use the strategy, if I'm not, whatever, but I know for sure this is great for people with a budget. This can be a great way to start building up your inventory, start building up your portfolio, start making money. And again, this can help you work your way up to some of those high tier grail type skins. But even in the meantime, a lot of these have a ton of insane fundamentals and have a ton of great performance and a ton of great returns for good reason. I really think the strategy is great for people of all kind of budgets and all kinds of things. We're not all the Oni Pixels or the Zipples or whoever or the anomalies, but maybe with taking advantage of some stuff like this by investing in collection grays, or even just some of the lower tiers. Doesn't necessarily have to be grays. I'm sure there's really good light blues and blues and all that stuff. You can potentially make a lot of money. So this is a strategy to keep an eye out on. If you guys did already know about this, maybe this is just a reminder. If you didn't know about this, hopefully you learned something in this video. But that's pretty much it for today, guys. Hopefully I catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.